While the world chased speed in the 1990s, Britain quietly perfected something rarer: comfort built like a cathedral. Behind closed gates and private showrooms, a handful of cars were being hand-finished by craftsmen who measured wood grain in millimeters and leather in cowhides. Some outclassed rivals twice their price without ever raising their voice. One of them didn't just join the luxury conversation, it rewrote the rulebook entirely. If forgotten chapters of Britain's automotive story interest you, consider subscribing to Britain Rewind before we begin. Let's start at number 10, with a car built for those who preferred discretion over spectacle. Number 10, Daimler Double Six. Built on the Jaguar XJ40 platform and later the X305 generation, the Daimler Double Six carried a 6.0-litre Jaguar V12 engine producing smooth, near-silent power that whispered rather than roared. Inside, deep buttoned leather and lambswool rugs created a cabin closer to a gentleman's club than a motorcar, while picnic tables folded neatly from the front seatbacks for rear passengers. The fluted Daimler grille separated it instantly from its Jaguar sibling, signaling old money rather than new ambition. Used by diplomats, judges, and members of the establishment, it traded flash for gravitas at every opportunity. Few outside Britain ever truly understood its quiet appeal, and fewer still ever got to ride in one. But that quiet exclusivity is exactly why collectors chase clean examples today, often paying more than for an equivalent plain Jaguar. Could this be Britain's most underrated luxury saloon of the entire decade? The next car wore a different badge entirely, yet chased that same sense of quiet British authority. Number 9, Jaguar Sovereign X300. Sitting above the standard XJ6 in Jaguar's X300 range, the Sovereign carried a 4.0-litre AJ16 straight-six engine, refined further once Ford's investment modernized the historic Browns Lane production line. Inside, supple leather and traditional walnut veneer continued a formula that had defined Jaguar luxury for decades, while round headlamps deliberately echoed the beloved series saloons of old. From 1996, a long wheelbase body added valuable rear legroom, transforming it into a genuine chauffeur-driven option for company directors and visiting dignitaries alike. Reviewers praised its smoothness against German rivals like the BMW 5 Series, calling it remarkably composed for the price and genuinely comfortable on long journeys. Cruise control, heated seats, and a sunroof came as standard, reflecting just how complete the package had become. It became the quiet favorite of executives who wanted understated British prestige without a V12's running costs. Was this simply the sensible choice on today's list, or the smartest one of them all? The next car abandoned saloon manners entirely, choosing off-road capability dressed in genuine luxury instead. Number 8, Range Rover P38A. Launched in 1994, the second-generation Range Rover introduced electronic air suspension that could rise or lower the car at the press of a button, a genuine luxury innovation for an off-roader. The autobiography program, introduced in 1995, let buyers specify bespoke leather, extended wood trim, and near-limitless personalization through Land Rover's own dedicated workshop in Solihull. Under the bonnet, a 4.6-litre V8 delivered effortless cruising power wrapped in walnut and Connolly hide, while self-leveling suspension kept the ride composed regardless of load. It became the vehicle of choice for landowners and royalty alike, equally at home on a gravel driveway or a city motorway. Few SUVs before it had dared to feel this genuinely upmarket, or this complete in its execution. The Vogue SE later pushed things further still, with color-coded leather built almost entirely to order. Would you have chosen this over a traditional saloon for everyday driving? The next entry returned to two doors, but lost none of the ambition. Number 7, Aston Martin Virage V8 Coupe. Hand-built at Newport Pagnell, the Virage used a 5.3-litre V8 with 4 valves per cylinder, wrapped in aluminium bodywork beaten by hand over English wheels in a process largely unchanged since the 1950s. Inside sat Wilton wool carpets and Connolly leather stitched by craftsmen who often worked on a single car for several weeks at a time, refusing to rush any part of the process. From 1996 it evolved into the V8 Coupe, sharper styling borrowed from the supercharged Vantage variant that sat above it in the range. Production numbered only in the hundreds, making every example genuinely rare even among Aston's already exclusive history of low-volume manufacturing. Owners weren't simply buying performance, they were buying patience, craftsmanship, and a tangible piece of Newport Pagnell's soul. This wasn't even the most expensive Bentley-adjacent machine on today's countdown. The next car proved that Crewe still understood raw, unapologetic power. Number 6. Bentley Turbo R. The Turbo R combined a 6.75-litre turbocharged V8 with surprising agility for a car of its considerable weight, earning praise as the first Bentley in decades genuinely worthy of the name. Its Blackpool-spec engine eventually produced over 400 horsepower, propelling the saloon to 155 miles per hour, astonishing figures for a car dripping in burr walnut and lambswool throughout its spacious cabin. Late-decade Mulliner additions pushed luxury further still, with flared wings, larger alloy wheels, and bespoke trim built for individual customers at considerable expense. It became the favored Bentley of those who wanted comfort but refused to be left behind at a green light, and its viscous differential gave it genuine road holding to match its considerable power. Few realized quite how quick this stately saloon truly was, or how much engineering hid beneath that traditional bodywork. What came next abandoned for doors entirely in favor of pure coupe presence. Number 5. Bentley Continental R. Unveiled unexpectedly at the Geneva Motor Show in 1991, the Continental R was the first Bentley since 1965 to wear a body not shared with Rolls-Royce in any way whatsoever. Its 6.75-litre turbocharged V8 made it the fastest, most expensive Bentley of its era, and briefly the costliest production car in the entire world at launch. The Sultan of Brunei reportedly bought the very show car on the spot for over £2 million before the event had even properly finished. Inside, sports seats unique to the model balanced long-distance comfort with genuine driver engagement, a rare combination for Crewe at the time. Its Coke bottle silhouette and laser-cut stainless steel grille still turn heads decades later on any street in Britain. Can you imagine driving one today without drawing a crowd wherever you parked it? The next car took that same platform and removed the roof entirely. Number 4. Bentley Azure. Built on the Continental RS underpinnings, the Azure required Pininfarina's expertise in Italy to become a genuine four-seat convertible, reinforced extensively since no roll bar was ever fitted to the chassis at any point during development. Its triple-layered fabric roof, engineered for both thermal and acoustic insulation, took nearly 2 years to perfect alongside the Italian coach builder before full production finally began at Crewe. Power came from the familiar 6.75-litre turbocharged V8, sending the substantial convertible to 150 miles per hour despite its considerable bulk and weight. Pricing comfortably exceeded its Continental R sibling, reflecting the sheer complexity of its hand-finished construction process from start to finish. It became the open-top choice for those wanting genuine Riviera glamour without sacrificing British craftsmanship or everyday comfort. Do you think this deserved a higher ranking on today's countdown of British luxury? The next car represented something entirely new for Crewe. Number 3. Bentley Arnage. Launched in March 1998 alongside its Rolls-Royce twin, the Arnage introduced a twin-turbocharged BMW-sourced V8, giving it sharper, more athletic responses than its sister model from the very first drive. Firmer suspension and a column-free gear selector distinguished its driving character noticeably from the more sedate Silver Seraph parked beside it on the same production line. Inside, Connolly leather and glossy burl walnut continued Bentley's long-standing craftsmanship traditions, hand-finished at the historic Crewe factory by experienced trimmers who had worked there for decades. Corporate upheaval between Volkswagen and BMW threatened the car's very existence before production had even begun in earnest, with engine supply hanging in the balance for months on end. Despite the boardroom drama, the Arnage survived to become one of Bentley's most important modern saloons. Few buyers realized just how close this car came to never existing at all. The next entry shared its platform, yet pursued an entirely different philosophy of luxury. Number 2. Rolls-Royce Corniche. Continuing a lineage stretching back to 1971, the Corniche remained Rolls-Royce's most expensive offering throughout much of the decade, surpassing even the Silver Seraph in cost and exclusivity. The final 25 examples, built in 1995 and designated Corniche S, received a turbocharged engine for genuinely effortless power delivery at any speed, transforming the way this stately convertible accelerated. Its handcrafted convertible roof and presence on the French Riviera made it a symbol of old-world wealth long before influencers existed to photograph it for anyone. Production at Mulliner Park Ward involved painstaking, almost artisanal methods rarely seen in modern manufacturing, with each car taking months to complete entirely by hand. It outlasted countless rivals through sheer, unshakable prestige and an unmistakable silhouette known the world over, from Monaco to country estates. Which of these 10 would you choose to park in your own driveway today? Now, for the car that genuinely redefined what Rolls-Royce luxury could mean. Number 1. Rolls-Royce Silver Seraph. Unveiled at Geneva in March 1998 after nearly a decade of development, the Silver Seraph marked the first entirely new Rolls-Royce platform in years, and the first to use a 12-cylinder engine since 1939. Its 5.4-litre BMW-sourced V12 delivered smooth, near-silent refinement, while the body proved 65% stiffer than its Silver Spirit predecessor, transforming ride quality entirely for the better. 11 Connolly cowhides were hand-stitched into each cabin, paired with glossy burr walnut picnic trays for rear passengers to enjoy on longer journeys across the country. Built entirely by hand at Crewe, it became the bridge between Rolls-Royce's traditional past and an uncertain corporate future under new ownership. Within months of launch, the company itself would be split between Volkswagen and BMW, making the Seraph a strangely poignant final statement from old Rolls-Royce. It didn't just close a remarkable decade of British luxury, it quietly redefined what the marque could become for everyone who followed. That's our countdown of the 10 most luxurious British cars of the 1990s, from quiet diplomatic saloons to record-breaking convertibles wrapped in leather and walnut throughout. Each one represents a different idea of what wealth and comfort meant in Britain during a decade of genuine engineering ambition and old-world craftsmanship that refused to disappear. Which of these 10 would you have parked in your own garage, and did number 1 surprise you as much as it surprised us when researching this list? Let us know your pick in the comments below, and subscribe to Britain Rewind for more forgotten chapters of British automotive history waiting to be uncovered and told properly.